Okay, so now that you have an idea of what protections the federal law gives you as a consumer, let's go over what to do if you have a consumer complaint. There are several agencies that are designed to help. If you are experiencing an issue with a company and cannot resolve it directly, we recommend starting at www.usa.gov/consumer-complaints, which offers an easy-to-navigate list of agencies and information. Complaints can be made online or in writing with most agencies. Gather copies of any proof, receipts, or documentation to submit with your complaint. Always keep the originals.
Please remember, if you have made the purchase that is in question with your credit card, you can dispute the charge by contacting your credit card company.
Let's talk about the offices and agencies that offer help when you have a consumer complaint. There's your State Attorney General's office for one. You can go to www.naag.org to find your state's Attorney General. The State Attorney General's office helps protect consumers and offers information and the opportunity to file a complaint. In addition to possibly helping resolve a particular issue, hearing complaints from the general public will help your state's Attorney General to see patterns of business practices that may be of concern.
The Better Business Bureau is another agency to contact. The Better Business Bureau is a private entity and not a government agency. If you file a complaint, they will notify the company of your complaint. The Better Business Bureau does not have authority over other businesses, although many companies will try to resolve any complaints that were made to keep a clean record. To start the complaint process, do a search for your local Better Business Bureau office. Complaints can be submitted in writing or in the local office's website.
As mentioned previously, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is a government agency. You can submit a complaint regarding a financial product or service by going to www.consumerfinance.gov. The Bureau will forward your complaint to the company and share their response. You will be able to review the response and give feedback. The Bureau will forward complaints to other agencies if they will be able to better assist the consumer.
Also worth mentioning is the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC. It is a government agency and works on many consumer issues. The FTC does not resolve individual complaints, but filing a complaint does establish patterns of abuse and fraud that help law enforcement agencies. The FTC offers a wealth of information and articles. Go to www.ftc.gov or www.consumer.ftc.gov for more information. If you would like to get legal advice about a specific situation, contact a lawyer in your area.
Let's talk about coping with an unexpected financial crisis. Despite one's best efforts, a financial crisis can occur unexpectedly. This section is to provide you with strategies for seeking advice or assistance from public and private service agencies, and avoid going into debt if you should have an unexpected financial crisis. After all, knowledge is power.
In previous units, you learned about periodic expenses, emergency funds, insurance, goals, and savings. All these topics illustrate planning and will help to avoid having a financial crisis in the future. In the case of periodic expenses, expenses that come up infrequently, if they are planned for, they won't become an emergency. If money was not set aside for expenses such as home repair and medical expenses, these types of items can easily turn into a financial crisis.
We know that emergency funds can be used for unforeseen items or to support you should you lose your source of income. Typical advice is to have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in an emergency fund, but many advise that 8 to 12 months of expenses is a better goal.
As discussed earlier, insurance is vital to avoiding debt and savings depletion. Don't leave yourself unprotected. To compare and shop for health insurance, go to www.healthcare.gov.
If you do find yourself in a financial crisis down the road, you should seek out and examine all other options before resorting to borrowing and incurring debt. Look at the tax consequences and penalties and explore other options before borrowing from a retirement account. You will need that account to be there for you when you retire. Which of the strategies you choose will depend on your individual circumstances and the type of financial emergency you face. You should pursue as many different strategies as you can, and don't make the mistake of counting on one solution. Have a plan B and even a plan C whenever possible. Don't wait to take all possible actions before exhausting your emergency funds.
Here are some things to look at immediately. If your household income goes down, make an emergency spending plan. This is a temporary plan which cuts out all unnecessary spending. A common mistake is to continue to spend on non-essential items until circumstances become dire.
Housing is the single biggest monthly payment for most people. If your housing payment has become unaffordable, look at all possible options to cut your housing payment. If you rent, see what arrangements can be made to rent a less expensive unit or get out of your lease early to seek less expensive housing. If you have a mortgage, you might consider renting out your home or a portion of it to help pay the mortgage.
If you believe the mortgage is going to be an issue, talk to your lender and a housing counselor about possible mortgage forbearance or other mortgage assistance programs. If you've lost your income, look into an unemployment forbearance program. The place to get information on mortgage assistance programs is www.makinghomeaffordable.gov. There, you will find a number of mortgage programs and the eligibility information for each. And be sure to check www.treasury.gov for information on the Hardest Hit Fund. There you can see if your state has funds available.
A good way to elicit help is to consult with a HUD-approved housing counselor. A HUD-approved agency is a nonprofit that is approved for housing counseling through the U.S. government's Department of Housing and Urban Development. They are free to use and will speak to you about specific programs and your situation. A listing of HUD-approved agencies can be found at www.hud.gov or call 1-800-569-4287 for HUD's interactive voice system.
If you're thinking about selling a vehicle or other secured debt, the key is to find someone willing to pay at least the amount owed under your contract. You cannot sell a vehicle or other collateral for a secured debt unless you can pay off the balance owed on it with the funds. The same rings true for turning in a vehicle to your lender. If you owe more than what they sell it for, the lender can charge you the difference. This is known as a deficiency debt.
Certain hardships may qualify you for help and concessions from your creditors. No matter what your situation, it's a good idea to talk to a supervisor and find out what types of help may be available. Consider all possibilities. Can you sell any possessions to raise money? Can you call upon family or friends? Can you earn extra money?
As you explore ways to earn extra money, be aware of scams. If any company asks you for money for supplies or for any reason, do not work for them.
There could be assistance specifically for your particular emergency. The United Way has many nonprofit and government partners that are community-based and offer a variety of services. They will direct you to one of their partners when you dial 211.
You can seek advice or assistance from public and private service agencies. Social workers are a prime source of advice and information. You can find a licensed social worker in your area at www.helpstartshere.org and at faith-based organizations such as Catholic Social Services, which serves those of all faiths. A great place to start your search for help is www.benefits.gov. This is a government website that will assist you by showing you what benefits you may be eligible for. You can also apply for assistance through this website.
Another resource is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. It offers information regarding health clinics. You can find it listed at www.hrsa.gov.
So let's do a quick review of what we've learned in this chapter.
In this last unit, we looked at smart consumer skills and our rights as consumers under the Federal Protection Acts. We also looked at what to do if we believe our rights have been violated. We learned where to go for help in a case of financial crisis. We also learned to use techniques such as delaying purchases when possible, negotiation, and walk-away power. Don't let a salesperson talk you into anything. Remember, it's your money. Know how to use unit pricing and comparison shop to get the best value. This course is only a start. Remember to keep learning. The workbook that accompanies this video is a good review, and it will help you remember what you learned today. It's free, and you can get it on Butterfly's website on the same page as this video.
Let me leave you with one final thought. It's your money and your life. Only you have the power to reach your financial goals and get what you want.
You can do it!